So flag burning is back in the news, and I thought I'd hop on the proverbial bandwagon, although the bandwagon these days are more like a tank, but that didn't stop a few protesters from burning American flags outside the White House during the 4th of July. They were quickly put out. Now, I should say, I have never burned an American flag. I don't own an American flag. I do own an American lawn chair, and I suppose I could burn that, but I enjoy sitting on it too much. So I can't be bothered, really. But, of course, burning an American flag is protected speech. And it was determined in, I believe, 1989 under the Supreme Court case Johnson v. Texas. And the inverse was actually true, where most states had laws on the books prohibiting the burning of the flag. Burning the flag already was illegal up until the Supreme Court case, where the Supreme Court case ruled in a majority opinion saying, no, it's freedom of expression, it is an object. By burning it, you are expressing a host of things, that the American flag is so diverse in its historical context, cultural context, socioeconomic context, and the United States is so diverse that the image of the American flag cannot mean one thing universally, and therefore it is protected within our realm to burn it. And I agree with the Supreme Court's take on this. I'm a very strong proponent of freedom of speech. I don't believe in hate speech. I generally err on the side of all speech is protected speech. People have the right to speak whenever they like, as they need to be able to speak freely in order to think freely. But I do understand the complaint many people have that, well, burning the flag seems wrong. It seems offensive. It seems desecrating like America. It seems anti-American. That's where it's interesting to me, because most of us, I think, would have less of a problem with the Confederate flag being burned. That probably wouldn't bother as much as burning the American flag. Why is that? Is it because the Confederate flag symbolizes different things to more people? Perhaps the Confederate flag symbolizes slavery to the majority of people, where the American flag symbolizes freedom or some sort of nationalistic pride. And because the American flag is so often associated with a kind of national pride, I think it gets caught up in a lot of people's identities. And anytime you challenge a person's identity, people generally dislike it. And the American flag is a proxy for a person's identity. They identify with the American flag, and what they view as an American, they project onto the flag. They project it onto a symbol. No different than we project something onto a statue of Abraham Lincoln or the face of George Washington on Mount Rushmore. These beautiful, carved, crafted stone faces. We project, a history that we'd like to believe, an idea of the American dream we uphold. We project all of our identities as a citizen of that country upon these objects, and the American flag just happens to be one of them. But the American flag is not all things to all people. Perhaps you're a person of color, or your ancestors were slaves. The American flag can mean radically different things to you than it could mean to somebody who was born in Massachusetts and has been there since their great-grandfathers sailed there on a wooden ship to found the Massachusetts Bay Colony, and are now zillionaires. The American flag is such a diverse object that it must be protected under freedom of speech. By lighting the flag on fire, you are expressing your thoughts on perhaps American culture, or even your own identity about how you relate as an American. The judges recognized, even if we inherently dislike something, we must protect it knowing that the principle, the underlying first principles of why we're protecting it are true. Because if we ban the ability to burn a flag, do we ban the ability to draw the American flag with an X over it? Do we ban the ability for somebody to drop the American flag? Who gets to define what is desecrating the American flag? And even then, who gets to say desecrating the American flag is bad? Ultimately, if you allow it to happen, you're giving somebody other than yourself the power to define what you can and cannot do, and that means what you can and cannot say, the core of it to what you can and cannot think. To be honest, I don't even know where one would buy an American flag. I guess Kmart? One American flag, please, and a lighter. And you walk down your neighborhood and light it up on the street. I can see why it would disgruntle some of your neighbors. And if you so choose to, disgruntle your neighbors, so be it. And they may choose to light their fireworks into your garage window rather than up in the air next 4th of July. But I still believe in your right to burn the American flag. Free speech is protecting the speech you do not agree with, because ultimately there will be some thought or idea or speech that you will say that most people won't agree with. And you will hope when that time comes that society will protect your speech, just as you now, today, protect their speech to burn the American flag. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe. Gotta get more animated. Gotta be more like the Paul brothers. Like, subscribe if you like this video. Smash the bell or whatever the notification is. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.